Carly Davis. What did you think of your first collegiate race?
I thought it was a really good race. It was a 5K, which was what I was used to running. So it was pretty nice to go out and just kind of run it with a pack for the first time and then kind of race the end of it. So I thought it was a pretty solid race.
Okay, so now that you've got your first race under your belt, what are your expectations going into next week at East Lansing?
It's my first 6K, so I'm a little bit nervous. But I think that if I stay with the older runners and stay with the pack that I ran with last week, I think that we're all going to have a pretty solid race. Really no time expectation, just kind of go out and give it my all and see what I can do.
Now that you've got your first race under your belt, what are your expectations going into next week in East Lansing?
Team goals, we have a lot to accomplish here. I think, we have a lot to prove for ourselves. We have a great team coming in, and practice has been going really well. We're facing a lot of big-time teams and a lot of nationally ranked teams. So just getting in the mix and putting ourselves in the position to get ready for these championship races and kind of get the feel for how those are going to be run. So just a learning experience more so than anything.
Okay.
And then I guess individual, put myself up towards the front and see what I can do.
Coach Jorney, who will the field consist of, and what type of competition do you expect to face at the Spartan Invitational?
So the Spartan Invite's a pretty big meet. There's going to be, I'd say, well over 15 teams on both the guys and the girls side. Some of the toughest competitors, Eastern Michigan's supposed to be there, so we get a little bit of a preview with our top MAC competitor. University of Michigan, I think, is on the list. Then there's a lot of other schools that are smaller Michigan schools, but I think we can expect to see some pretty good competition from Grand Valley. Hillsdale is going to be there, as well as even Central Michigan might be bringing a team. We'll find out more in a couple days.
Okay, so which Red Hawk runners should we be watching for?
So on the girls' side, Maria Scavuzzo has been looking tremendous. I don't even know if she or I know how good she's going to be this year. I think there was a lot of untapped potential, and so she's starting to really shine. I'm excited to see what she can do. Maria is going to be leading a group of young girls. Carly Davis and Megan Murphy are looking really strong. Claire Lynn is looking good. And then even our 800-meter runner, Alexis Sivan, she may be a big player for us by the end of the year. Definitely leaving out half of the crew that could also really surprise us. Everybody's looking really good in workouts. On the guys' side, we obviously have a really strong freshman contingent. There were 5 of our top 10 at Indiana. And Chris and Sean Torpy, Brad Davis, David Coffey are going to add to Andrew Dusing and Stephen Biebelhausen. Ben Metzger, we're looking to have him have a little bit more of a strong race than he had at Indiana.
So back at Indiana, it was kind of a tune-up for the season. What are you expecting out of the team after that?
So yeah, the tune-up, early season meet, we get out on the course, we put our spikes on, try to get a good solid workout out of that. It was only a duel between Indiana and us, and I think this weekend we get to see who knows how to race the 8K for the men and the full 6K for the women. So it's a new experience for most of them because they're coming off of doing either a 3-mile or a 5-mile in high school, or a 3-mile or a 5K in high school, and it's a different race. I mean, when you tack on 2 more miles and you put yourself in the field of 15 collegiate teams, this is something that can be really different for a lot of these young runners. We're going to race it, and I think we're gonna have some challenges out there. We could go 2 different ways. We could either surprise the other teams that are there, and including ourselves, or we could end up being a little bit frustrated because we know we still have some work to do. Having a young team, that's kind of one of those big question marks, and it's exciting because we could end up being a lot better than we think or other people think we are.